Sun City Superbowl will host the latest edition of the South African Sports Awards tomorrow. USA-based hockey personality Sean Rapaport has been nominated for Technical Official of the Year, which recognizes umpires and other match officials. Sean joins us live for a chat via Zoom. Sean, a very good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Quinn, thanks so much for having me. Great to be here.
Great to talk to you indeed. When did you arrive back in South Africa?
Last night, actually. So yeah, we're based in the US at the moment and arrived yesterday evening and then drove through to Sun City today for the big show tomorrow.
Well, I guess maybe I should have started with this. Congratulations on your nomination. How does it feel to be nominated as one of the technical officials of the year?
Thanks so much. Yeah, a big surprise and obviously an honor. But yeah, there have been many that have come before me who probably are a lot more deserving. But yeah, just to be in the company of those who've done so much for sport in general and for hockey in particular is really special. So yeah, looking forward to it.
And I guess that's exactly it, that it must mean a lot, not only for you, but also for the sport of hockey, which many sometimes feel that it's overlooked in many certain ways, particularly in South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, our hockey boys and girls, men and ladies, punch well above their weights on the hockey global scene. And they've really got to fight to get their spots at World Cups and Olympics. Funding is always difficult. They really graft hard. And just being part of that sport is something that's special to all of us. It's an incredible sport and we work hard to get out there on the global stage. So, yeah.
Speaking of global stage, I mean, how is it going for you in the United States? And I guess, speaking of congratulations again, you recently got your golden whistle.
Yeah, so golden whistle is given to umpires who've umpired 100 senior international matches. So that obviously takes a little while to accumulate. So it's been about 10 years of international hockey for me to get to that milestone. So that's taken me all over the world, and the latest stop has been in the USA. And currently for the SA Sports Award, the eligibility period is, it's just come at a time where I've been in a little bit of a purple patch in terms of appointments. So I've been really lucky to be more active than normal on the global stage. I've done some really nice big events, and that's been recognized, which is always nice as well.
Looking back, Sean, to that 16-year-old hockey player that decided to pick up the whistle, did you expect your career to go this far, to umpire the world over? I mean, big tournaments, Commonwealth Games. You're even going to Paris for the Olympics this year.
No, I was going to be a cricketer, Quinn. So yeah, growing up playing at the same age group level as the likes of AB and Faf, and a very good cricketer and hockey player, Andrew Cronje. And cricket was always the big passion, but I just wasn't quite good enough. And then hockey, I played from age 5 and still played until a few years ago. And somewhere along the line, just picked the whistle up. There was a culture at the club level when you were a kid coming through there that you were expected to umpire games. And picked the whistle up and just kept going with it. And I've done it more as an enjoyment than anything over the years. And then eventually found myself out there internationally, and it just took off. And yeah, here we are today, and really excited to go to the Olympic Games in a few months in Paris. It'll be my first Olympics. I've done the World Cup and a few junior World Cups, but the Olympics is obviously the big one. Really excited for that.
Let's talk about that. I mean, it's every athlete's dream to go to the Olympics, right? Is it the same for officials, for technical officials like yourself, to be part of the Olympic panel, as it were?
Yeah, very much so. You know, as a kid growing up, we were bidding. I think it was the 2004 Olympics that we were bidding for, and at school a big deal was made of that, and we did projects all related to the Olympics. And the Olympics for me has always been the pinnacle of sport. And you know, I'd hoped one day maybe I'd get there as a sports person. And I think this is right up there for me as a sports official. And yeah, I've been to a World Cup now for hockey, and I've obviously been to a few World Cups for other sports as well, but just as a spectator. And I still see the Olympic Games as the pinnacle for most sports, and for hockey, for me, that at least is still the pinnacle.
What has kept you going, Sean, particularly as an umpire, getting your golden whistle, as we just mentioned? Because you said you really just picked up the whistle, just trying as a fun aspect of it. What kept you going to rise to the level that you are, to be rated amongst the best, not only in South Africa, but in the world?
Most people who know me will probably tell you that it's my stubbornness. So yeah, it's just once I realized that it's something that was achievable, and that I was good at and that I enjoyed, it's just a stubborn determination to succeed. There's also a bit of an overlap with my professional career as a lawyer for almost 20 years. I think there it's all about laws, and hockey it's about rules and applying them to different situations and managing people. And I've definitely seen across the legal career and the sports career that there's been an overlap with the different skill sets at play. And I've really enjoyed the interplay there too. And yeah, it's got me to this point, and hopefully it'll lead me into the future. I'm still, in hockey umpiring terms, relatively young. There's an age limit cutoff for 47. I just turned 40, so I've got a few years still in me. So if I still retain that drive post-Paris and for the next 4-year cycle, hopefully I'd be in LA in 2028, and then we'll see what I can do in the few years after that as well.
You are the United States Field Hockey Director of Umpiring. What does that involve? What does your job involve as the Director of Umpiring for the US Field Hockey?
Yeah, I mean, that just goes to show the doors that sport opens in weird and wonderful places around the world. So yeah, currently based in the US, and as Director of Umpiring, I'm involved in the identification of talented officials and their development and their retention, which is really important. Hockey, like all sports, I think struggle at times for officials, and of course without umpires, referees, in the various sports, you can't have the games played. So I think just recognizing the importance of sports officials in general, and of course for me, hockey in particular, and just ensuring that we look after our officials, and then also bridging the gap between officials and players and coaches, as well as spectators. Everybody enjoys watching the game, and nobody wants to see games decided because of, or seemingly decided because of, umpiring decisions or refereeing decisions. And just for people to understand a little bit of what goes into umpiring and decision making, and how we get to the outcomes that we do sometimes, and that people aren't out there to ruin others' day. Everyone's doing their best. And yeah, just currently trying to ensure that the next group of officials to come through are prepped to step onto the stage.
Sean, as we went on the conversation, I mean, what do you make of the state of South African hockey as somebody who's been involved as a player, but also as an official, and maybe from the outside looking in?
Yeah, I mean, South African hockey, it's dear to me. I've been involved since age 5. And there's just something special about South African sport. And the same can be said for South African hockey. They're really special people and passionate people involved in South African hockey. And it's all about having the right people involved in the right positions. And I think it's an exciting time, particularly with both teams going to Paris. And hopefully they do well, and that we kick on from there and we use the momentum. You know, there's always a big build-up of momentum as we move into Olympic Games season. And then kicking on from there and getting sponsors involved, and getting the right people in the right seats around the country, and ensuring that we develop the new players and we retain those that are going to be the future leading up to the next Olympic Games in that following cycle. So it's always really promising when you think about South African hockey, and hopefully it's again one of those phases where we kick on and we have a bit of a golden generation coming through.
And just finally, back to where we started with the South African Sports Awards. As a nominee, I mean, you did say it's very big for you, but also for the sport of hockey. I mean, how confident are you of taking this one? I don't know if you're taking it back to the US or you're leaving it back here at home.
I can't say I'm particularly confident. I was shocked to be nominated in the first place, so it's really good. We're actually sitting at the moment. We just had a rehearsal and we've got a nominees dinner, and just being surrounded by South African sports personalities is great. And meeting one of the other technical official nominees is Amy Barrett, and chatting to her for a little bit. Yeah, I'm probably punching a little bit above my weight, so just happy to be here and spread the word of hockey. And yeah, just enjoying ourselves.
Well, Sean, thank you so much for taking time to speak to us. And once again, congratulations on your nomination. That is Sean Rapaport, who is one of the finalists for the technical official of the year at the South African Sports Awards.